Hello everybody, hope you guys are all doing well, and welcome to my review of the film TWINSTERS. So TWINSTERS tells the story of a young Korean-American actress who lives in LA. She's full Korean, but she was adopted by a white American family, and basically one day she gets a message from this other person who claims to be looking exactly like her, and that she saw her in a YouTube video in one of her movies and says that she looks exactly like her, and that is the story of TWINSTERS. So TWINSTERS is a really good film, guys. I thought it was very emotionally affecting, as well as being very engaging, and I thought it was very well put together and very well directed. And at the heart of the thing, it's really about the story that you get from this documentary. The story really is something amazing to behold, and the way that the film presents the story is really done well, and you're definitely going to find this film to be both emotionally affecting, as I said, as well as having times of very light humor, and just it's kind of a rollicking emotional ride for any viewer who sees it and has emotions or feelings, and you're going to have a great time with this movie. And so I'm going to get into a couple things that I liked about the film. What I like about this film is kind of how it was directed and put together, and I will say that it was very well directed and very well put together. And the reason I say that is because the story that this is, it's an amazing story. So I believe that, it needs to be told right, and so does the people who put this movie together, including the people that are involved in the story, had a very good sense of how to tell the story, probably mostly because they were a part of it and so closely involved in it. But I feel like if this movie had not gone and been made the way that it is in this film, TWINSTERS, I feel like the story would have been lost under heaps of just melodrama and cliche. And I feel like the filmmakers did a really good job of keeping the story engaging and making it emotionally satisfying by going and doing inventive things with the story, such as kind of starting in media res and kind of just going straight to it, not wasting a lot of time with a lot of other things, and putting things in an order where the film was engaging to watch, added some elements of mystery and elements of emotion, and in the end it was a really entertaining film to watch, emotionally affecting, as well as very engaging. It was really interesting to watch. I mean, I was really interested in knowing what would happen next in the story, and part of the reason for that is how the film was put together. So hats off to the directors and the filmmakers that were behind this, especially the directors, one of which is one of the actress that I was talking about, Samantha Futerman, I believe. She did a really excellent job of just putting this and compiling this together, and it shows that they really had a respect for the story, wanted to tell the story the right way, and it really comes across absolutely well in this film. So that's what I have to say about the documentary filmmaking aspect. Now let's get into the story. It's also a film that kind of explores a lot of, and the story itself explores a lot of different themes, just by being such an incredible story. One of which is definitely the argument of nature versus nurture, personality, a lot of different things that would be, of course, you would associate with a film about adoption. It does that, and it does it very well, and I love how the people involved in the story were very honest about how they felt throughout these different stages, and they just completely, whenever they were interviewed, they were very honest with the audience about how they were feeling, and it's really interesting to see, kind of what they say in this kind of different sort of situation. And for those just interviews alone, where you get to hear these two people or many people that were involved in this story, is really interesting. And it's kind of interesting to see at the end of the film, especially, which is definitely my favorite part of the film, how kind of things start to link together and how things start to cross over. And it definitely has a lot to say about family roots and just what the nature of family is, really, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the film as well. This is a really incredible story, guys. I really enjoyed watching how this movie got played out. As I said already, the movie was very well put together, and they used a lot of different musical tracks also to help build up that emotion. But the story in and of itself, even I think if this would have been a terribly put together documentary, I still think that any documentary about this kind of thing would have gained some sort of, appreciation from viewers, because it's an incredible story, and I really think it's worth checking out. And I love the fact that this story really tells kind of a story of the spirit, the dynamism of the human spirit, and kind of how it relates to family. I think that is very well conveyed in this film, and again, excellent direction. I gotta say, this is a very well directed, well compiled film that tells the story in a way that is really interesting to watch. And because I can't tell you the story, because that would be way too many spoilers for this video, I just suggest you go and check this film out because I think it's a really emotionally satisfying story told in a very well way, told very well, and just in a way that it was inventive and not cliched. And I think that you're going to have many different emotions while you go through this film. It's a very sometimes it's very lighthearted, and other times it gives insight. The story itself gives this really great insight, and the people involved give insight into kind of just piercing of the human soul and just how all of us humans are somehow connected. And it ends up being a very emotionally affecting journey. I really enjoyed Twinsters. It was a great film, and I think it is streaming on Netflix right now, so you can go and check it out on Netflix. That's where I saw it. So be sure to check this movie out. I'll give it an A minus for being a really well put together documentary and not succumbing to cliches, something that stories like this often tend to succumb to. So hats off to these filmmakers for putting this story together. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys get a chance to watch this movie. It's on Netflix, as I said. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those great things. And be sure to turn on that post-notif bell so you know every time a new video comes out. This movie is really good. Be sure to check it out. And yeah, that's all I have for this video, guys. See you next time.